You're live.
Hi, I'm Robert Moynihan, editor of Inside the Vatican magazine, just outside the Vatican, on April 24th, 2025. It's 2 days before the funeral of Pope Francis. People are lined up here a little after 10 o'clock in the evening in Rome on a very nice night. It's a little bit chilly, that's why I've got a jacket on. The murmur of the crowd's very quiet, really, and there's several thousands people going through a series of fences and coming out in St. Peter's Square. And then under the lights of the square that are kept on really, last night they went till 4 in the morning. And then the people had to stop for about an hour and a half. And then they started again at 6 or 7 in the morning. So tonight they will be going on after midnight to pay homage to Pope Francis, whose body is now lying quietly in front of the altar in St. Peter's Basilica. He died on Monday morning at 7:35 in the morning, and he'll be buried funeral mass on Saturday, and so he'll be buried that afternoon in St. Mary Major Church on the other side of Rome. So these are the last days of the presence of the mortal remains of Pope Francis here in Rome. And thousands of people are coming to see him. The My thoughts turn back to the many other experiences here on this street, Borgo Santo Spirito, which leads from the colonnade down to the Church of Divine Mercy, which is Santo Spirito, and the Jesuit uh, Curia Generalitia, which Francis was the first Jesuit pope. So, right in this little stretch of Rome, there's a lot of history. And from that balcony, I remember being here 20 years ago today when Pope Benedict gave his inaugural address from the main loggia of St. Peter's Basilica, April 24th, 2005. Now we're April 24th, 2025. I was 20 years younger. Benedict was a man in his 70s, and he said, "I'm just a humble servant of the Lord." And he began his pontificate, but surprised us all with the remarks that he made right at the end, where he said, "I pray that I may not flee for fear of the wolves. Pray for me." I've never forgotten those words, and I've made those words part of the concept of what I'm doing here. I'm trying to help Benedict and others who want to preach the gospel to not flee for fear of the wolves. And I think that's what's really bringing people here. Our world is filled with wolves of all sorts, werewolves and wolves in sheep's clothing, and governments that are very wolfish, and criminals who are wolfish. And the good shepherd is a rare thing in our world. Jesus was the good shepherd, and he asked his followers to be his disciples and follow him and be good shepherds and keep the wolves away from the people. But so many lies are told today that the people are now feeling often that they're in very great danger. People can't hardly make the payments at the end of the month sometimes. Their children are getting sick. And the church isn't right now led by anybody in this world. There'll be a papal election in about 2 weeks' time. It's expected to start on May 6th. Some people say May 5th, but I think May 5th is a Monday. So the voting will start on May 6th. I was just told that Vatican employees have been told that activities will recommence about the 11th or 12th. So they're expecting a short conclave. I'm not sure they will get that. But somewhere between 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of May, there'll be an election for a new pope here just in 2 weeks' time. And we'll see a man come out also in this piazza and speak to the world as the new successor of Peter and the new good shepherd for our world.